Hey guys, I'm doing a new different kind of video this week. Basically, a few weeks ago, I sent out a post within YouTube asking for your websites that I can just kind of critique rapid fire style, and you guys sent me a bunch of them, so I really apologize if I don't get to yours today. I'm only doing 5, but I picked ones that I feel like are going to have the most representative problems that other people can learn from as well. So I picked 5 that I thought were really good that we can talk about today. So anyway, if I didn't pick yours this time, I am planning on doing this again next month probably, so stay tuned for that. So anyway, let's get right into the first one, and that is from Alan Witten. So let's check it out. Okay, so here we are on Alan Witten's site, and this is what we see when we first get there. This is kind of the big hero section. So the thing that I would recommend here, Alan, what we've got is a lot going on here. You know, we've got a big photo of you over here. We've got your name, kind of a tagline, a headline, a button, then another tagline, and then all this stuff. So in short, there's way too much happening right away. And I would imagine that when most people come to this site, they probably might feel a little overwhelmed, which is probably, you know, the last thing you want them to feel, given that you're a life coach. So, and that brings me to my next point. When there's this much information happening, I don't know at a glance what it is that you're providing. You know, I would have to read this little text here or this, or, you know, this up here. So basically what you want your headline to do most of that heavy lifting for you, letting people know what you do for your patients, if you call them patients or clients, I'm not sure, based on life coaching and therapy. So how I'd rather see this go would be, you know, like the standard big hero image right here, kind of taking up the whole window when you first get there, then a big headline, and then you can put the coaching, therapy, performance. But then I would take it a step further. So coaching, therapy, performance, so you can redefine yourself, something like that. But basically, we just want people to really know at a glance what it is you do. And then for the main hero image, I would probably shy away from using a photo of yourself. Nothing against you. You're a very handsome man, Alan, but I'm just saying that, you know, people want to see themselves in this story. So I would rather see, you know, people kind of shy away from stock photos, but there's nothing wrong with it if you choose a good one of someone just living an empowered life. Whatever that means to you, whatever that image looks like. Because it's really, again, at the end of the day, it's not about you as the therapist and as the life coach. It's about the client and what they can do as a result of your therapy. So that's what I would keep it up here as. And I like your button, get your free consultation. And I see that you've followed my advice here about using this one little line here. There's another video about that. So yeah, cool stuff. And then down beneath this, oh, that's a big photo, Alan. Okay, so underneath that, then you can get into basically the 2-door approach that I might recommend, which would be getting people as quickly as possible to either your life coaching page or your therapy page. So right underneath the hero, you'd have basically 2 columns, life coaching, therapy, and then a find out more button under each. That way you can kind of treat both of those as their own kind of landing page. Beneath that, what I'm seeing here are 3 different kinds of therapy. There are 3 different kind of facets to your therapy, which would be improved performance, improved relationships, or stress management. Then we've got something else over here, unlimited support, which doesn't really, I'd say like one of these things is not like the other. These are all talking about different aspects of what you can do. And then this is kind of like a benefit of it. So that belongs more with the benefits. This belongs more with kind of the services you provide, I would say. So I'd rethink this hierarchy here. I like you've got a process plan. That's good. I always like that. Testimonials, great. I love that you've got video testimonials. That's awesome. And you've got pricing, which is great too. You want to have that. One thing I might shy away from again, because again, now we're getting into the territory of you as the hero. And while people probably want to know about you, I would keep it very relevant. You know, I wouldn't try to do too many personal things, especially when we're talking about a therapist. From my understanding, like there's a lot of boundaries between a therapist and a patient. You know, I don't know that they need to know that you're a martial artist for over 30 years. and husband, father. I mean, that might be relevant. And then you're talking about your dog here too. So I mean, it's cute, but I think you might do better if it was all just very relevant information. So anyway, hope that was helpful to you, Alan. And let's move on to our next one, which is Lure Beauty. And I had to do this one because it's a fellow Chicagoan, so I had to give her some love. So here we go. Okay, so here we are on the homepage. And I gotta ask you, is this Tiffany Thiessen? Because if it's not, it looks just like her. But anyway, so let's just get right into this. It's a great looking shot. I like what you're doing here. I love your logo. This looks all really nice. The first thing that's jumping out at me is this text placement feels a little weird to me. It's kind of floating in a no man's land, I would say. I would probably reframe this photo, have their heads possibly a little higher, and then this text would just kind of go right around here, with probably like a bit of an overlay over the photo, probably like a dark overlay, and then this text would be more in white. And then, so one thing I really want to talk about with you here is this Book Now button. Okay, so I really want you to think about, is it really realistic to think that people are going to book your session without talking to you, sight unseen? I don't think so. I know that I can say whenever I work with my clients, they always want to talk to me before they'll actually hire me to do a website. And I used to actually be a headshot photographer, and it was the same deal. You know, people wouldn't hire me just on the website. They would want a conversation first. So I would definitely recommend changing this Book Now button to more of a schedule a free consultation button. Because right now, this is a big ask. You know, and then when you go there, you know, it's asking for all this information, and it's a little confusing because you're saying book now, and all you're really doing is giving the information. So it's like, have I booked it, or have I just kind of requested a booking? I don't really know what I've done here. So again, just make it a consultation. I recommend using Calendly. It's basically a way it syncs with your calendar. They can set up an actual consultation right on their own time. So I'd highly recommend that. Okay, so let's go back to your homepage, because one of the things I noticed most is just kind of a lack of information. You know, this is all there is to the homepage here. And while you've got other pages, what you want is people to kind of get the whole story right here. And one thing I'm unsure about, because we've got gallery and you've got all these different categories, are you specializing in weddings? Because this photo tells me that you do, but I'm not really seeing that here necessarily. I would have to imagine that you do, but then when I go to the gallery and I see lifestyle, special effects, editorial, now I'm questioning what your focus is. So make it really clear, and if you do have multiple services, you might want landing pages for them. So maybe your homepage would just be really big sections devoted to your different areas where they can just go right away, and then each of those pages they go to, that becomes kind of the de facto homepage for each different service. But then again, you also are going to need much more content on each. You need a little bit of the benefit section, you know, what people get when they hire you over one of your competitors, and why they would even want this service to begin with. You know, why is professional makeup so important for your big day, right? So address that, address the benefits specifically of working with you, and you're going to do a whole lot better. Okay, and our next one is from KL Lawn Care, so let's go check that one out. So KL Lawn Care, here we go. We've got a nice big hero image, and I really like that. This is actually a really good way of handling your headline. So it's lawn care and landscaping services in Baltimore County, Maryland. And then leave the work to us, we'll leave the relaxing to you. I really like that. I actually might even switch these. I might have leave the work to us, we'll leave the relaxing to you as the big headline, and then give more clarity with this right underneath it. I think that might work even better. If I have any nitpicks here, so I think the photo might be a little washed out. It looks like there's kind of a green tint to it. And my eye is kind of drawn to this black minivan and the basketball hoop over here. So what I'd much rather see you do, even if it's not a lawn you cut, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if it's an accurate photo of a lawn you've worked on, I wouldn't think. So what I would probably do is find a really nice photo on like Adobe Stock or Shutterstock of a family or a group of friends just having like the best backyard barbecue ever. The grass doesn't even have to be the focus of the shot. The focus can be the people, and the lawn can just be there, and people will kind of connect those dots. Because what we want to see is people enjoying your service, not just an empty lawn. So that's my first tip. and then get your free estimate now. Great. Except I want this to stand out much more than it does. So if the photo is mostly green, maybe it's purple, maybe it's this yellow color, in which case you wouldn't use that anywhere else, but this kind of gets lost in the mix. So I would definitely make that stand out more. Okay, so here, I guess this is the benefits section, but there's a few things I want to say about it. First of all, just kind of from a layout perspective, you need a little more room between this yellow line and the text. It feels crowded and it just feels a little chaotic. So you want to definitely make that more white space there. Next, I'm not sure what starting with the end in mind means as a benefit. And here's the thing, like no one's really going to do all this reading to understand what it means either. So keep that in mind. You want it to be very blatant what it is the benefits are for you. And then stay in touch. It says, we can't build trust and loyalty with poor communication. You'll be updated regularly about scheduling changes, emergencies, or project updates. So while this sounds like a benefit, all I start thinking of is, what do you mean there's going to be scheduling changes and emergencies? Like, I don't really want that. Now you're putting it in people's heads that that's what might possibly happen. And while emergencies will always pop up, that's not what you want people thinking about when they're booking you. So I would kind of do a little bit more work on these to really make them more benefity, I would say. And benefity is a technical term, by the way. But anyway, moving down the page, so we've got our services and a slider. That's okay. What I might do though is have them broken out one by one, like next to each other or even in a grid. People generally aren't going to go through all of these. But if you're gonna have them in a slider, just make sure that you're doing them in order of importance of how much business each one of these gives you. Then as we go down, we've got a testimonial here, which is always good to have. But at first glance, like I don't know that it doesn't really look like a testimonial to me per se. So how I would change it is I would have like the photo of the customer over here. That's always important it's always important to have the photo because people want to connect with it and see a real person left it. So ask Kimberly R here if you can get her photo, and then I'll really make it come to life more. It says they get 5 stars. Put 5 stars there. Like you can get web emojis that you can just copy and paste. So it's 5 stars. That's just one of those little indicators that people will see 5 stars. They'll know it's a review at that point. And then the photo really makes it come to life. All right, cool. And then you've got FAQs. Great. Request a free estimate. Awesome. All in all, I'd say awesome job, Kevin. You did really well. So there's just a few little things you need to do and you'll be on your way. All right, next we have Oakway Financial. So let's take a look at this one. Okay, so here we are on their homepage. So right away, first of all, I really like the look of this site. It's a beautiful site. So you've done a really good job with that. There's just some things that what we've got here is you're taking up a lot of valuable real estate with a logo, which is something I never really recommend. You have a limited amount of space to communicate a lot of information. Your hero section on the top of your homepage needs to be intriguing enough to make people want to read further. So a logo is generally not the best way to do that. As good as it looks, and it's a nice logo, I would definitely do what most people do, which is, just shrink this up. It should be this top section right here. All right, so moving on. So secure your future. I'm not really sure what that means on its own. It's a headline that I guess it's good to let people know that that's what you do. But what I want to see underneath that is a subheadline that tells people how you secure people's future. Because right now this is all very vague, right? Do you do, retirement planning? Do you do, well, that's right here. But again, you need to specifically say like, in words, we'll plan your retirement so that you can focus on the here and now, however you want to put it, but give people a reason of why you do what you do matters to them. And then scrolling down, so now we've got promoting financial security so this looks, so I'm not sure what we've got here. Based in the Denver Tech Center, so this is a lot of information. The people are, I guarantee you, people are not reading any of this. So what we want to see here instead of this is kind of a problem solution statement where you're outlining the problem that your typical client is facing, which is an uncertain financial future. You know, there's worries there. Say that in like one short paragraph, then you break it into another paragraph where you say, but it doesn't have to be like that. We've got your back. We know we've helped hundreds of people just like you get back on track, that kind of statement. Then underneath that, you want to have the benefits. So what you've got here, all of your services, which is great. But I think before that, you want to have some benefits. So what are those big three things that you do for your customers or clients that maybe your competition isn't doing, right? So think about those things. And then we can get to all your services. And then let's see what we've got next. So we've got some testimonials. Awesome. I would add photos to these if you can get them. And then moving down, we've got we've got a form for people to fill out. So this is all good stuff, but what you need also, what we're missing is basically a call to action that's sticky up top here. And this goes for everyone else I talked about today too who didn't have that. You want to have this top section, not this one because it's too big, but a standard sized one, scroll down with you, and it has to have a call to action button right here. So whenever you scroll down, it's always right here. So whenever they're ready to make that leap, contact you, it's right there. All right, the next one is Balloons Elite. So let's check this one out. So I love this site. I think this one possibly does the closest job of what I teach. So we've got a great headline here. We help you create memories and moments by taking away the stress of decorating, giving you time to attend the other details and enjoy the event. Okay, cool. So I love this. I might make it a little more party related. I know you've got create memories and moments, but to me, by taking away the stress of decorating, I think there's probably a better way to say that. Say something like we create memories and moments so you can be a guest at your own party, however you want to say it, but something like that would be great. I love this nice bright image. And then you scroll down. So now we have a Colin Powell quote. I don't think that is the most important thing to put next. What you want to do is have, again, that problem solution section where you talk about the problem of having an underwhelming looking party, I guess, like no decorations, as well as then the other problem of how do you get it all done, right? So that's the problem. Then the solution is we're here to the rescue. We will blow up all these balloons. We'll choose the color scheme. We'll take it all off your plate, right? So now we've got the benefits section, which is great. More time, proper resources, excellent service. All right, cool. All right, so then coming down, we've got, okay, so here we've got that problem solution section, which is good. Nitpicky, this background image isn't selling party to me. And I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to emphasize the stressfulness. I think what I'd rather do is though see that happy end of story goal in mind. So I would have like a great looking party behind it, another chance to showcase your work. And then this looks to me like a big wall of text. So what you want to do is make sure there's a line break after a paragraph. That way it's a lot easier to read. And then let's get started. Great. How does it work? Follow the steps. Awesome. You've been doing your homework here. And then you've got some FAQs, which is great too. So this is great stuff. Lorena, thanks for sending this in. You've done a great job. So if you want to see me review even more other websites, you can click this video right up here for a playlist of all my best critiques of other people's websites like yours that you can learn from. All right, guys, just click right up here and I'll see you in a second.